Hey guys, how's it going? Hope everybody is doing well whenever you tune in and see this. So this is going to be a general reading for both Pisces and Aries for September. All right, just adjusting the camera here a little bit so you can see the table a little bit more. All right. So today, when I'm filming this on August 30th, it is actually the Pisces full moon, the blue moon. Okay, so this is the second, full moon of the month, which is pretty rare. And I heard we're not going to have another one for a decade or so. I don't know if that's accurate, but that's what I heard last time I checked. Okay. So I was going to do the Pisces reading last night, but then I had something come up. And I completely forgot about the full moon, and then I was like, oh, I'm doing it tonight. And then I was like, oh, that's funny. I'm doing Pisces reading for September on the Pisces full moon. All right, so obviously we're going to start with Pisces, but then I will be switching over and shuffling the cards and moving to Aries. So we'll be providing timestamps for people later after the live is done. If they just want to watch Pisces or they just want to watch Aries, okay? So obviously they are two separate readings, but sometimes people do get confused and they think it's just about a Pisces and an Aries. It's two separate readings, okay? Just wanted to clarify that. But everybody is welcome regardless of where you have Pisces in your chart. You could be a sun sign Pisces, a rising Pisces, have your moon in Pisces, your Venus in Pisces, wherever, right? Everybody is welcome. Okay, and what else? Yes, I've already taken your photo. So if that's something that you're interested in seeing, I just take one picture of all the cards here that are on the table, and then I upload it after the live is done. For some people who want to look at all the cards together or more up close in detail, that is something that I would provide people, okay? So if you're watching this on YouTube, after the live is done, it will be in the description box below. But if it's right now or during, it won't be on there. So if that's something you're interested in, all you have to do is go to my Facebook page and go to Malessea Magic Light on Facebook. And then once the video is posted, it'll be the first or second comments there. And that's where the picture is if you're guided. All right, so with all that kind of being said, let's go ahead and get started here, Pisces. I want to do a quick sound though, like I always like to do for everyone, just to take a couple of deep breaths, get back into our body, that kind of thing, and for me also to check in with my guides to make sure that I am delivering the messages to you guys as clearly as possible. All right, so let's go ahead and do this for Pisces. It will be loud for a few moments if you're sensitive, but then we will continue after that. All right, so this is for Pisces. Pisces. Let's go ahead and move this over and see what we have coming up here for you for September. All right. Okay, so Pisces, I also just want to make sure here that we're good on the sound, and it looks like we are, so very good. I've had lots of issues lately with the sound and the lovely Mercury retrograde. All right, so anyway, Pisces, I've shuffled and pulled all of your cards ahead of time just to save some time. So we're going to go ahead and talk about what each one of these cards placements may mean for you. All right, so we're talking about a 4-week time period here in September. So the first 4 cards on the top can correspond to a week's time frame or so, but it's not set in stone. It's just kind of meant as a guideline. All right, so I'll say the dates again a little bit later, but I just want to say them first here as well. So the first card can be from around September 1st through the 8th. The second card can be from around September 9th through the 16th. The third card can be from around September 17th through the 23rd or so. And then the fourth card can be from around September 24th through the 30th, or maybe even into a couple of days into October, right? Since this is a general reading meant for multiple people, the time frame isn't exact, okay? Also wanted to say that for some people this may resonate during the month of September, but it could also resonate, you know, sometime in the past or sometime in the future, right? So whenever you see this message, hopefully there's something here for you to get from this message. All right, so Pisces, let's see which cards you have here. You've got the 7 of Cups in the right side up position. You've got the 2 of Cups in the reverse position. You have the Queen of Swords in the right side up position and the 10 of Swords in the reverse position. All right, and then we'll talk about the other cards a little bit later. But yeah, let's see what we have here for you, Pisces. You have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you've got 3 major arcanas in the past, and 1 is kind of past and future. So totally you have 4 major arcanas. So the more major arcanas you have in a reading can talk about a lot of change happening. So looks like most of it here, Pisces, is in the past, but then you also have the one towards the end of the reading that can kind of go either way, okay? Now, for some people, we're looking at zodiac signs. We do have Gemini here twice. We've got Virgo, and we've got actually Gemini 3 times and a little bit of Sagittarius, okay? So for some of you Pisces, you could be dealing with a Gemini, a Virgo, or a Sagittarius, okay? They could have a lot of placements heavily in their chart or in your chart, or it's referencing Pisces. It could be referencing, sorry, I was about to say Pisces, but it could be referencing Gemini season, right? It could be referencing Virgo season, Gemini or Sagittarius season of this year, of next year, even last year, right? Or it means kind of nothing at all, but I like to kind of just throw it out there in the beginning. Now, I also want to see what is the majority of your minor arcana here before we get into the reading as well. So you definitely have a lot of water and air throughout your reading. You've got 2 Cups cards, 2 Swords cards, and a Wand, and then the rest are majors. So it's a kind of a tie here, Pisces, between the Cups and the Swords. Okay, so again, air and water elements. Air signs, water signs, right? They're also showing up here. So you really don't have any earth here, which is kind of telling as well. So as a side note, it could be that you need more grounding or to slow down in some way, right? But that's just kind of something that stuck out to me that is missing here. But it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? Every reading is different, but it kind of just gives us clues and kind of hints at certain things. All right, so when we have this tie here, though, Pisces, between the Cups, and that represents the emotions in the tarot, and then the Swords, which is our logical mind, our crown chakra, can talk about mental health, and then it's talking about emotions over here, okay? So that, again, is just kind of like an underlying theme to your reading here. But we're going to go one by one and kind of dive deeper and see what we have. All right. So Pisces, for your first card, and it's going to be energy that we're also picking up from the recent past, but we have the 7 of Cups in the right side up position here for you. Okay, so this is an energy that feels like I haven't made a decision yet, right? So I'm coming a little closer so you can see the card in detail, but it kind of says like I have all these different options and I'm weighing my options. I'm not sure, right? So the king is talking to the Morgana figure and he's like, which cup do I take? And she's like, you have to make that decision. You have to weigh the options. I'm just showing you what's here, right? And so this can have a little bit of like some dark night of the soul energy here, Pisces. Now this reading, of course, could be about you or someone you're dealing with, multiple people, your kind of general environment situation. But yeah, it just feels like someone hasn't made a decision yet, an emotional decision yet. Regarding something here, we'll get more into the details. But if I was to pause your reading right here and kind of talk about if there was something that you wanted to accomplish that is within your control, like traveling or manifesting something in particular, excuse me, then I would say actually the third week here, Pisces, looks like the best, okay? Not that the other ones are terrible, but the third week is the most promising, again, as far as something that you want to manifest within your control. So we're saying that the third week can be from around September 17th through September 23rd, okay? Now let's go back to where we were with the Seven of Cups in the right side up position and kind of look at the cards that are underneath it as well here, Pisces. So this is past energy, okay, that we're picking up that kind of made it possible for this Seven of Cups in the right side up position to show up. So what we have here in the past, okay, is that Lovers in the reverse position and the Hermit in the reverse position. So official card for Gemini, official card for Virgo. Okay, could mean something but doesn't have to. All right, so it really feels like though here, Pisces, that there is some kind of union in the past that didn't have an equal give and take, where someone or union, right, can be a work partnership, romantic, can be friends or family, or even self-love. But in the past, it was not equal, okay? It was, someone giving too much and someone giving too little, okay? Or it was not like the two parties or people, if you want to say, because if it's a work thing, it could be two companies, right? Who knows? They were not bringing out the best in each other, okay, in the past. Now that could be because somebody here also, Pisces, was not using their intuition with that Hermit card in the reverse position. Okay, so just going to kind of show you again more up close in detail. All right, so when you also have the Lovers in the reverse position, it can also be, not always, but I'm feeling a little bit of it here, like, actually I don't want to say that per se. It's just giving me very like hot and cold vibes, like the Lovers in reverse in particular when it's under the Seven of Cups and the surrounding cards. It's like very hot and cold, very my way or the highway type of energy. Could even talk about like a sexual withholding, which I don't normally say, but that's kind of what I'm getting here a little bit for somebody. May not be for every Pisces, right? But I'm getting a little bit of that there. But let's keep going, right? Because we still have quite a few cards to get through here. So there's a lot of, let me stop here and say, Pisces, there's a lot of repeating here in your reading throughout. So you do have 2 repeating cards, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But you also have this kind of up and down energy, where the first 2 weeks, there's a lot of contemplation and hesitancy over something. Then when we get to the 3rd week, there's like this mental clarity, right? And then in the 4th week, there's more healing after the mental clarity. So again, I really feel like the 3rd and the 4th weeks are going to flow more easily. There's more forward momentum and progress. but we still kind of have to go over, of course, the first 2 weeks, right, Pisces? But your second card, it feels like there's something going on here for you again or someone else, general environment situation, that is very triggering because you have another card that's so similar to the Lovers in the reverse position that we just talked about. Okay, so by the time we get to your second week here, Pisces, now we have the Two of Cups in the reverse position, and we said this could be from around September 9th through the 16th or so. But it's again talking about some type of union where there is not an equal give and take. Now, in this card in particular, it's talking about emotional. Trying to find my words here. In the past, we talked about maybe this sexual kind of withholding or hot and cold, my way, the highway type of vibes. But then, and it felt more physical back here, right? But then in the second week, it's repeating again, but kind of like in a different level or different vibration, you can say, because it's not an equal give and take emotionally, because it's a Cups card, right? So again, this can be a work partnership, this can be romantic, this can be friends or family, platonic, or even self-love. But there's something going on here too in the second week where somebody is not feeling like this union, this partnership, whatever it is, they're feeling like it's not blessed by the gods, it's not divinely guided, it's not something, right? It just feels off here. Okay, now what is really important though to say, right, that I've been saying kind of all of the readings, is that we do have Venus going direct on September 3rd, okay? And so that would be more in the first week, but anytime a planet goes retrograde or direct, it's going to stop where it's at, and then it's going to slowly pick up speed in whichever direction it's going. So Venus direct, let me slow down. Right, Pisces, slow down. Venus is all about relationships, all types of relationships, right? So it was going in the kind of retrograde motion for a couple of months, having us go over how we relate to other people and ourselves, okay? And so now when we're talking about in that second week, it would have already gone direct, but sometimes it takes time, right? And it will affect everybody at different levels. So Venus going direct on September 3rd may not even really feel direct to you until we get to that third week of September, okay? So it's again, once it goes direct, it stops, and then it kind of slowly picks up speed. So it can take a week or two, or maybe even 3 weeks, right? Like we're seeing here, for it to fully be in that direct vibration, okay? But now that, with that being said though, let's see what's underneath this card to kind of get even more insight here, Pisces, about why this Two of Cups is in the reverse position here for you in that second week. So what we have underneath it again is kind of this past energy. So we have the Two of Wands in the reverse position, and we have the Magician in the reverse position. A little bit of Gemini, Sagittarius energy again, and Wands in general, fire signs, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, right? But not their official cards. Okay, so I just want to come a little closer so you can see the detail on these smaller cards. Again, this is past energy that is impacting this Two of Cups in the reverse position in that future, current, present energies, and this is more past energies. So in the past, perhaps there was some type of blocking, of research being done, of a time to go inward, okay? So it's like in the present, you or someone else is trying to do that, is in the middle of doing that, but in the past, somebody wasn't doing that, like, at all, okay? And then when the Magician is in the reverse position, it could also be here, Pisces, that somebody or something in the past was feeling like they didn't have all the tools that they needed, perhaps, to give this union or multiple unions the emotional, the correct kind of emotional vibration that it should have been or demanded to be, okay, with that Magician in the reverse position. It could also be that it was somebody not feeling confident, somebody feeling like they're trying to manifest this particular emotional thing within a partnership or union, but there wasn't enough. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be different for everybody. I don't think it lacked passion per se, right? But with that fire energy in the reverse position, maybe it needed more fire. Okay. Remember how I also said in the beginning of the reading, you have no earth energy throughout your reading. So again, I feel like this energy here in the first and second week, Pisces, is your spirit guides, guardian angels kind of telling you to slow down, okay, and to ground, right? So find the fire energy and harness it in a more motivating way, and then also use that earth energy to ground, to get back into your body, to rest, all those things, right? Eat the good foods, get the rest. So let's keep going though, okay? Because again, I feel like by the time, Pisces, we get here to your third and fourth week, there is this mental clarity and there's a lot of healing that takes place here. So that is beautiful. All right, so here we go. Third week, Pisces. And we have, excuse me, the Queen of Swords in the right side up position here. All right, so she is known as like a no-nonsense type of woman in the tarot, but the way that they depict this particular card in this deck is she's looking down at her people. She's kind of like this Japanese giant. She's looking at this little Japanese island, but she's laughing and she looks lighthearted. So they're showing the Queen of Swords in this more softer kind of tone, and they're doing that in particular to emphasize that that is important, right? When we think of a no-nonsense type person, male or female, gender, whatever, it's like getting things done, making hard decisions. I don't take any bullshit, none of that, right? So that is good and that is needed for everyone in particular moments, right? But it's also like the Queen of Swords, because she's in a position of authority, she's not going to show her heart to everyone, right? So again, it's normally seen as kind of this colder type energy, like closed off. But the thing that it's emphasizing is to lighten up a little bit and to be a little humble and to show just a little bit of softness, right? You don't have to show every single person who your deepest, darkest secrets and this and that, right? But it's saying that you can still make those decisions, you can still cut away obstacles, clear your path, but it doesn't have to be done as harshly, you know, as the Queen of Swords normally would do it, okay? That's what I would say. But yeah, let's see. So then when we move into the fourth week here, you've got some beautiful healing going on, Pisces, to go from Queen of Swords in the right side up position in the third week to now that Ten of Swords in the reverse position, okay? And that's how we want to see this card. This is a good reversal. It is letting go of anxiety, worry, overthinking. It's letting go of just too much up in the head, right? You know, I'll share a moment here with you guys for a second. I don't usually, you know, always talk about my personal life per se, but I had some Reiki done by a good friend, and I had been overthinking a lot that week. And I have my moon is in Aquarius, whatever. I got a lot of air in my chart, and people overthink regardless whether they have air in their chart, right? But it was weird. I was getting the Reiki done, and I felt this heat like on my head, like on the right side. And I didn't think about it at the time, but when I spoke to her afterwards, she's like, yeah, I was drawn to that area, and that's the area that needed that extra energy. And then I was like, oh, okay. And I think she said something like overthinking. And I was like, yes, that's exactly what it was, okay? So you're doing, though, Pisces, the opposite of that, okay? Which is really beautiful, right? Again, with the Queen of Swords, we want to be able to think, think clearly, talk clearly, all those things. But we also don't want to take it to the point where it's just too much, right? So there's a healing taking place here, because in the past, in some way, there could have been just mental exhaustion, right? So someone is clearing that away, is healing that, and that is so beautiful, Pisces, right? So I'm so happy to see that, okay? So your reading here is not over yet, right? But it is so interesting because I haven't had this yet so far in this series of like September readings, where your tarot confirmation card is the same one in the same position as your other one in the past here. Okay, so I'm going to bring them up to the screen so you can see it. But before I do that, I think I said it in the beginning of the reading possibly too. It's posing a question, okay? Not, they don't always do that. But it's like, it's past and future energy always, the confirmation card, the way I do it. But it's posing a question like, for you in particular, Pisces, do I want to go backwards, right? So, I'm trying to think of the way I say it. It's like, if I do all this healing in that 4th week towards the end of September, something could come up later that re-triggers it, or is like kind of pokes the bear and is like, are you sure that your wound has healed? Do you want to pick it and reopen it so it can bleed again, right? Something like this, okay? So anyway, let me show you, Pisces. So you have the Lovers, both in the reverse position, both in the past, but this one can be, if we're not careful, a little bit in the future as well, okay? So it's not meant to scare anybody. Knowledge is power, right? So again, we have this really strong Gemini energy here, Pisces. And let me show you, because I never noticed this before. Actually, this is really cool. So if we look at the Lovers in this deck in the right side up position, we see a woman and a man, and they're in a boat, right? And they are trying to slay a dragon. So the man is holding a sword, right? You have Queen of Swords in the 3rd week, 4 of Swords in the 4th week, right? And I said before that the swords represent our mental health, our crown chakra. Am I overthinking too much? Am I not thinking enough? Or am I kind of like in the middle? So again, with this Lovers, both of them in the reverse position, and what they call the Lovers in this deck, the smaller one, the Hermetic Tarot, they call it Children of the Voice Divine. Children of the Voice Divine. Well, when we think of lovers, right? What is that saying? When a baby cries, not when a baby cries. When a baby laughs, it's supposed to sound like the orgasm of the couple that created the baby, something like this. I can't think of the exact saying right now, but it's also like with that thing I was picking up before in the past with the Lovers in reverse. If there was this hot and cold energy, this off and on, this even weirdly for a small few, like sexual withholding, if it was a romantic union, doesn't have to be, but there was withholding of something, right? And so we want the Lovers to be ultimately the 2 of Cups in the right side up position, right? This emotional equal give and take. So here, if the Lovers was right side up, it is also a give and take, but it's not quite evolved yet to maybe the 2 of Cups. So there is some type of dragon here that needs to be slayed or conquered. When we think of dragons, traditionally they represent change, transformation, right? They also represent good luck, okay? But it's also like, is it a dragon or is it a snake, Pisces, right? So snakes get also a kind of bad rep traditionally. So if we think of the snake as carnal lust, right? The snake in the Bible and Adam and Eve, right? There's just kind of something there, a little bit going on. But ultimately, again, I know not for everyone it's going to be romantic or sexual in nature, but there is a good luck dragon, right? A good luck dragon. For people of my age that know, the never-ending story and all that stuff, there is a dragon here that this union can get. These two parties, these two people, whatever it is, it can be accomplished, but it's not going to be accomplished by overthinking. Okay, Ten of Swords reverse. It's not going to be accomplished until also the healing takes place. Alright, so hopefully I explained that correctly and that comes through. But before we switch over to Aries, Pisces, let's also get your little oracle card here. So this is from the Rebecca Campbell Oracle deck, Starseed Oracle deck, okay? So the one that you got for this time period and beyond, it says, we are the Hathors, okay? And we see all these Egyptian kind of architecture, and there's stars in the background, but underneath it, it says, deep love, mother's milk, and birth is a portal, okay? So weirdly, right, I didn't even remember I had pulled this card for you. I was talking about that saying about the baby's laugh or the baby's cry is like the sound of the orgasm of the lovers. I can't remember how you say that phrase. If someone wants to comment, let me know, because I cannot remember. But right, it's not about an actual baby, right? We're talking about tarot. We're usually, especially for a general reading, we're talking about metaphors, okay? So if we talk about birth and babies, we're talking also about birthing a project, a cycle, a phase, right? So it's saying birth is the portal. Okay, hopefully you can see that card enough to see there what's going on. All right. So I feel like it definitely goes with the Lovers cards here, Pisces. But also it's like self-love, and oddly enough too, I put this underneath your Ten of Swords reverse. So when we talk about all that healing that's going to take place towards the end of September, and maybe even in the third week, that's what it is. It's self-love, it's deep love, it's mother's love, it's the first love, it's just that pure kind of love. I don't know. I don't know how to say it anymore. But that's what I have for you, Pisces. I'm hitting the table there. But yeah, feel free to let me know in the comments down below how this may make sense for you, or how you're feeling about it, or even if you just want to say hi, whatever. So thank you guys so much. And the likes and the shares and subscriptions, they're all free, and they do support the channel here. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to give it a thumbs up or even a thumbs down, any interaction will help the algorithm within YouTube to share it more with others. And if you want to subscribe on YouTube, it also is free. It just notifies you when I put out new readings. And if you want to share this video with anyone that you think may appreciate it or like it in some way, that's definitely appreciated too. Whatever you feel guided to do. Alright, so now we are going to switch over to Aries though, and let go of the wonderful Pisces energy, even though we're doing this on the Pisces full moon. Alright, so we are going to let the cards charge a little bit with the crystals. We're going to do another sound bell too, which is great for clearing energy as well. And I might light a little incense as well to kind of, again, just clear everything up here. Alright, let's see. Put this in here and make them share. They're going to share, yes. I'm going to check the time where we're at for timestamps for later. So we're at like 35, is that 35 minutes? I think so. Okay. Somewhere around there. All right. Okay. So yeah, let's do a little bit of incense. I feel like that's what we should do first. And then we'll do the other stuff and clear and then go ahead and get started. So I appreciate everybody's patience, of course. Get a little fire action going. All right. Let's see, there we go. Should just do like a deep cleanse here of the energy of the cards. All right. Let that rest. Okay. So I thought I had a little bit of music going in the background, very softly, and I guess it stopped, but that's all right. Let's see. Okay. So we will go ahead and let that go. And yeah, let's go ahead and just throw these in here randomly, get them ready. And for shuffling that we'll do in a few moments. Again, we'll do a deeper shuffle in a few minutes. Just kind of throwing the cards in there. And it's just too quiet for me. Hold on, guys. Put some soft music on. Okay, just something, you know. When it gets too quiet, the dogs get crazy too. So just have a little something going on there. All right, so Aries. Let's do a sound bell here for you. We're going to tap back into our body, take a couple of deep breaths if you feel like you want to or need to. And I'm also going to tap back in with my guides. Again, just kind of make sure I'm giving you guys messages the way that they're supposed to be as clearly as possible. All right, so here we go. So this is for Aries. All right. Let's see, Aries, what we have coming up for you for September. Go ahead and do some shuffling here. Alright. Spirits, guide my hands, please. Messages for fire sign Aries. I was about to say the Ram. Yes, it is the Ram. Okay. I had a moment. I was like, who is it? It's the Ram. Alright, Spirits, messages for Aries for September 2023. Please guide my hands. Messages for fire sign Aries, the Ram, for September 2023 for their highest vibration. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for fire sign Aries, the Ram, for their highest good and truth in September 2023. Crystals is popping. It's like, whoa, whoa. Alright. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for fire sign Aries, the Ram, for September 2023. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for fire sign Aries, the Ram. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Aries. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for fire sign Aries, the Ram, for September 2023. What does Aries need to see to know for the highest vibration for September 2023? Feels good. So let's go ahead and start with this one. Spirits, guide my hands, please. Messages for fire sign Aries, the Ram, for September 2023. 4 cards only, please, Spirits. Messages for Aries. Messages for Aries. For September, messages for Aries. Okay. Spirits, guide my hands, please. Messages for Aries. Fire sign Aries, the Ram, for September. Messages, Spirits, for Aries. Alright, so we're going to take the top and the bottom as we do. Alright. And switch over to this one. We'll figure out in a little bit how Spirit wants these cards exactly. Going through just both. Alright. Spirits, guide my hands, please. Messages for fire sign Aries. That one really wanted to come out. Alright. That was fast, Aries. Okay. I was like, took a minute to kind of warm up, and then I was like, yeah, I'm ready. Okay. Messages for Aries, please, for September. 1 card only, please, for Aries for September. Aries. Okay. Let's run that down. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and figure out the placements here. Okay. Spirits on love and light, respect and reverence before, during, and after. Thank you for all advice, wisdom, and guidance given. And thank you, of course, for listening. Spirits, did you want the 5 of sacred circles in the reverse position to represent the first tarot card for this Aries September reading? No? Okay. Spirits, just to confirm, you want the 5 of sacred circles in the right side position to represent the first tarot card for this Aries September reading? Yep. Alright. They said yes. I'm like, okay. This one, let's see. Spirits, did you want the 4 of Pentacles in the reverse position to represent what's on top of this Hermaic Tarot deck for this Aries September reading? Yep. Alright. So we confirmed all the reversals. Now let's figure out where these little guys are going here. What happens to my music? There we go. Just a little bit. Yeah. Alright. Let's see. Where does my intuition want these cards? Well, they all feel like they want to go in the first week again. That's been happening a lot. But let's confirm, because I'm not exactly 100% sure. Spirits, did you want me to talk about the Four of Pentacles in the reverse position and the Six of Cups in the right side of position when I talk about the Five of Sacred Circles in the right side of position? Yep, they want those too. Alright. Thank you, Spirits. And Spirits, did you want the Prince of Swords in the right side of position and the Devil in the right side of position to be talked about when I talk about the Five of Sacred Circles in the right side of position? Yep. Alright. There's a lot going on for everybody in that first week of September, man. Okay. Not all bad, but just like, okay. That's what they're saying. Alright, let's take a picture before I forget here real quickly, guys. Oh, give me a glare. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. Good enough. Alright. And let me check what the time is now. So for the timestamps for later, we're at about 46.5 minutes. Alright. Cool. So I will make a mental note of that. For the timestamps for later, let's see here. Okay. So Aries, September, what we got going on? Let's call out your cards, your first main four, and talk about the dates, that kind of thing, and then get into it. So you've got the Five of Sacred Circles in the right side of position, the Nine of Sacred Circles in the right side of position, the King of Cups in the right side of position, and the Ace of Staves in the right side of position. Alright. We're going to talk about the dates. Alright, they're not super important, but they are kind of a guideline. So we're saying that the first card can be from around September 1st through the 8th. The second card can be from around September 9th through the 16th. And the third card can be anywhere from September 17th through the 23rd. And the fourth card can be from around September 24th through September 30th, or maybe into the first couple of days of October as well. Alright. And I'll say those dates again when we're on each card. So Aries, you have you got a repeating card just like Pisces did. Interesting. We'll get into that a little bit later. But right off the bat, right, you have one major arcana. It's not necessarily good or bad, we just kind of mention it. It is in the past position, and it's the official card for Capricorn. So for you Aries, maybe you're dealing with a Capricorn, or you have a lot of Capricorn in your chart, or somebody does. Or it's referencing Capricorn season of this year, last year, even next year. Or it means nothing at all as far as the other zodiac sign. Now, Aries, as far as your minor arcana goes, you have, let's see, you have like a little bit of every element here, which is good, okay? But the majority of your minor arcana is the Pentacles, Earth sign energy, okay? So Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, okay? You've got then 2 Cups cards, 2 Wands, a Sword, and then your major arcana, okay? So it's definitely that Earth energy, Pentacles, or Sacred Circles energy is the most dominant. But you do have air, you've got water, and you've got fire. So you've got a little bit of everything, okay? So when we talk about Pentacles or Sacred Circles, it can talk about money and finances and wealth, but it can also talk about our values. So some sample questions would be, or example questions could be, Am I being valued enough? Is the other person, is the environment, etc., versus vice versa, excuse me. So that's kind of underneath your reading, right? But yeah, let's go one by one and kind of see what's showing up here. If I was to say, Aries, your first week is not necessarily an energetic blockage or a challenge or anything like that. That's not what I'm getting. It's more a slowdown of energy in the first week of September. Okay, but then it really picks up speed and it keeps going, even into October. So let's break it down. All right. So Aries, you have the 5 of Sacred Circles in the right side up position as your first card. And this can be energy from the recent past that we're picking up. It could be a couple of days ago, weeks, months, years, etc. Whatever the recent past is for you. But here we see this Native American woman going into the hut, okay? And another woman who has a headdress on, who is a shaman, female shaman, is opening the hut for her to come in, right? And this hut is far away from all the other huts, okay? So Aries, this is kind of like, I'm not sighing because of the reading, I'm sighing just because I'm trying to figure out how to communicate properly. I feel like I have to say that sometimes. But, it is normally 5 of Sacred Circles or 5 of Pentacles is wanting to build more wealth, wanting to build more value, of course, right? But sometimes when we do that, we may tend to isolate ourselves a little bit because of that extra friction or that energy that we're trying to manifest. And so in this deck in particular, the way they show it, again, with that Native American woman going inside the hut, is asking for, I don't know how you say it, asking for some kind of help, whether it's spiritual help that you ask energetically from your guides, or it's actually asking help from other people. But it's just a time to go inward within, again, because you have all this earth energy, and that's the majority of the energy showing up here in your cards. It's like really grounding and resting, okay? Getting enough sleep, eating the good food, right? All those things. So yeah, again, I don't see it as an energetic blockage. I just see it as like a slow down energy. Like she's alone in her hut, off with her shaman, her healer, her person, her guide, and she's like, I'm gonna go take my rest, and this person is gonna watch over me or help me. Okay. But let's kind of see what's going on underneath it, why this card is showing up here for you Aries in the first week. Okay. So this is past energies all down here. Like I said, it's been happening for a lot of the signs in that first week, okay? Could be part of the astrology, right? Which I talked about in another video. Look for the astro part and you'll find it if you're interested. But we got the 4 of Pentacles in the reverse position and the 6 of Cups in the right side up position, okay? So this is really interesting here, Aries, because this is 4 of Pentacles and this is 5 of Pentacles, okay? Or Sacred Circles as they call it in this deck. So in the past, perhaps there was some type of needing to let go of control around finances or around value in some way. And when you did that, or someone else did that, or the environment started to shift into that, then you have that 6 of Cups energy showing up in the past as well, okay? And 6 of Cups, we got 3 and 3 on each side. It's talking about something from the past, or something that feels like it's from the past, kind of like a nostalgic kind of energy, but it was something emotionally happy or satisfying, okay, when we see that 6 of Cups in that right side up position. All right, so it's like when someone or something in the past, again, let control go, let the reins go a little bit with the money or with the value in some way. This created more emotional satisfaction, and then this led to a rise, right? in an almost I can't say the word, numerologic, in the numbers. Okay, the numbers are in order. Can't say that word right now. It's been a long day. But you go from 4 of Pentacles reversed to then 5 of Pentacles, or 5 of Sacred Circles, in that right side up position. So this is current present energy, and this is past. So it goes in order, right? So you go from 4 to 5 is what I was trying to say. All right. But let's see, again, a deeper level. So why this is again showing up here. So we have again all these cards underneath, all 4 cards underneath your first card are past energy. So this time we have, and these come from the top and the bottom of each of the tarot decks I'm using. I sometimes forget to say that, right? So we got the Prince of Swords in the right side up position and the Devil in the right side up position, Capricorn energy. Again, call them the sponsor cards. They made it possible for this one to come out. All right, so on another level here, Aries, in the past, there was some type of youthful energy that wanted to communicate something. This is a communications card. So it could have been a communication that you gave or someone gave to you, or it came in general from your spirit guides, guardian angels, what have you. But it brought this mental clarity and this calmness in the past. Okay? So I feel like what was going on here in the past a little bit is a cycle energy, a cyclical cycle energy, right? So it's like on one hand, this guy is looking really calm with his sword. There's birds and water in the background. He's doing his Mr. Miyagi, right? He's just chilling, he's relaxing, he's calm, he's clear-headed, right? But then on the other side, you have the Devil card energy, which talks about addictions, okay? Not just drugs or alcohol or sexual stuff. It can be addictions of the mind. It can be overworking. It can be whatever is out of balance. That's what the Devil card energy shows. But it's always a choice, right? So in the past, you have that energy going kind of back and forth. Also with the 4 of Pentacles in reverse and the 6 of Cups, it's like, I let go of control. I let go of holding on so clearly to finances or holding on so clearly to being valued in some way. And then on the other hand, something was out of balance with the Devil card energy. And then we had that clear message coming through, the clear-headedness, the calmness. So it's kind of like a going back and forth, okay? So again, this can be why in the present current energies here, Aries, there is this needing to go inward within, needing to take a little break, getting rest, grounded, going to that guide, right? And saying, hey, you know what? I want to make more money. I want to be more valued. I want to, I guess I'm kind of hearing be more healthy as far as in the past, the energy felt more like maybe like a roller coaster. Just very kind of up and down a little bit. All right, but we got this. Hopefully you understood this. But let's keep moving forward, right? Because like I said, if I was to pause your reading right here, Aries, your second week, your third week, and your fourth week, and even on into October, these are all green lights. The first week was like a red to yellow light. So it wasn't a complete red light, but it was like yellow. Like, okay, mellow yellow, slowing down. And then things really started to pick up, okay? So that's good. So here we have Aries in the second week of September, which we said could be from around September 9th through the 16th or so. We have the 9 of Sacred Circles, or 9 of Pentacles. It's one of my favorite cards here, okay? And so we see in this deck this Native American woman, and she's lighting some sage or some kind of sacred smoke here. She has the falcon behind her, the drums everywhere, all right? But 9 of Pentacles is an abundance card, financial wealth. It's abundance of not just money, but whatever it is we want to manifest in our life. All right. It is also, because of the Falcon being here, and it's always in most of the decks, right? It's that symbol for focusing on a goal and getting it, like hitting the arrow, right? So sometimes you see those falcons that have the cover over their eyes and then they release it and they just go to whatever it is they're trained to do. So it kind of represents that determination and skill and focus is now really back because of that rest that was needed. So now it's picking up speed and those things are coming back into alignment, okay? So that's really nice here, Aries, all right? And then when we get to your third week, for some of you guys, it could be that there could be some type of leveling up, okay? Because now we have a king out of nowhere, right? You had a prince down here in the past, Prince of Swords. So it's not the same minor arcana, but it doesn't matter. But now we have this King of Cups in the right side of position in your third week, okay? So now we have leveling up possible, right? So taking the next step in one area of your life or even multiple areas of your life here, Aries. And again, this could be about you or someone else or multiple people, general environment situation, all right? But it is something emotionally satisfying and fulfilling, right? He's got his cup. He knows what's in it. He's very grounded. He's on his throne, so he has a huge support system behind him, okay? And he also has his notebook, so he's taking notes. All right? So, again, this could be like, for some of you guys, like a really important week where there is some type of next step of something, and it's like a big step, okay? So, yay. Yay, Aries. All right, let's keep going down and see what else we have. So by the time we get to the fourth week, let's go back in the beginning for a second. You've got earth energy in the first week, earth energy in the second week, water energy in the third week, and then fire energy, your energy here, Aries, okay? So you have also repeating cards, right? So we'll take it one step at a time here. But in your fourth week, Aries, ta-da, you have the Ace of Staves, also known as Ace of Wands, in the right side up position. And we said this could be from around September 24th through the 30th, or maybe even into the first couple of days of October. All right, but this is about endings and new beginnings, especially because it's following that King of Cups. If there's a leveling up in one area of your life or multiple areas of your life, with that Ace of Staves following it, it's like, yes, endings and new beginnings to go along with this leveling up. It's harnessing fire sign energy, which you are, Aries, or depending on where you have Aries in your chart, because everyone is welcome to this reading, right? But it is passion, it's creativity, it's much like a little bit of what the Pisces and their reading was talking about birthing something new. So they usually say that the Ace of Staves or Ace of Wands is phallic-like and it has all this fertility stuff. But it doesn't have to be that, right? We're talking about general reading for multiple people. We're talking about metaphors, okay? So it can be birthing a new phase, a new project, an idea, a mindset, a cycle, part of your life, whatever it is. It's very positive here, Aries. And it is a green light. So I love to see that for you. Now for you here, your tarot confirmation card though, Aries, is a repeating card. So it's like the universe is saying you're on the right track, okay? So this confirmation card comes in and confirms all 4 weeks, all 4 cards at the top that we just talked about, okay? And if you saw me shuffle, I did not place that card on the board ahead of time. It was there. Okay, it just came out. So that's always cool. That's a particular message from Spirit to pay even closer attention. So it's cool to see the 2 different decks and how they depict kind of the same energy. All right, but they're both in the right side up position. And normally the tarot confirmation card is a combination of past and future energy. But here, for you, Aries, it's different. It's future, because it is the same card. It is literally confirming that you are on the right path. Okay? So, damn Aries, I'm just gonna say it, like, is it Virgo season or is it Aries season? Like, that's just such a good reading right there, okay? But before we go, let's get your oracle card as well to kind of wrap it up here. I haven't seen this one in a while. This is pretty. So we see the earth really small in the card and then huge space all around it. And the card is called perspective. And it says, none of this matters. Zoom out and find common ground. Okay? I feel that the perspective, it can really go with your second, your third, your fourth week, any of them. But for me in particular, it feels like it goes with that 9 of Sacred Circles, 9 of Pentacles. Because it's talking about perspective, and the falcon we said is that focus, right? So focus, perspective, it's kind of the same thing here. Okay, so finding whatever it is that you want and just manifesting it, right? Finding how to get there, right? But also I like the common ground element that's in this card as well. Because it's like, yes, we want to have our goals and we want to focus, but how do we relate to other people and what their focus is too? So that can also kind of go back to the first week where there was a little bit of isolation and needing time for rest. But then when you're coming out of that and you have all those green light Aries, maybe it's like, okay, now I can find more common ground with other people, right? And especially when Venus is going direct in September, so helping out all relationships, romantic, platonic, self-love, etc. So yeah, I love this for you, Aries. Feel free to let me know in the comments down below how you feel about this. All right. And yes, I will be posting your photo, the one photo that I took of all of your cards, in case you want to look at it later, more up close in detail. So how you can do that is if you're watching this on Facebook Live or you're watching this on YouTube Live, all you have to do is go to Facebook and type in Malessea's Magic Light and it should pop up for you. And then when you see this video posted, it'll be the first comment there, or the second comment, whatever it is. Usually I do it pretty quickly and nobody really comments per se that way. They should though, no, I'm just kidding. So again, if you want to check out the photo, it will be there for you. But yeah, other than that, we're going to wrap it up here, and I will be back tomorrow. We'll be starting with Taurus and Gemini and going backwards through the rest of the signs, so you're always welcome to join. And again, thank you for all the likes, subscribes, and shares. There are also free ways to support the channel here, since when I do these readings, they are free. So I really do appreciate it when you feel guided to do that. So if you want to like the video on YouTube or even Facebook, it does help share it more with others. And if you want to subscribe on YouTube, it's also free. You just hit the subscribe button and it notifies you when I put out new videos. But yes, thank you guys so much. Take care. Enjoy this time period. And I will see you guys later. All right. Bye.